Okay, now we're back, and I have weighed all of my field points, and I'm using these tight point field points, 100 grains. That's the advertisement. And what they do is they have this little O-ring in here. Let's see if you can see that. See that little green O-ring on there? That O-ring helps keep that field point from unscrewing its way out of there. And it works pretty good. I shot them all last year. I remember back in the days of me shooting, I was constantly tightening my tips. Every time I pulled them out, I'd have to give them a little twist on there. At least every couple of shots with an arrow, you'd have to do that. So I weighed them all out there, and they came in anywhere between 98.6 grains and 101.2. So there was a little bit of a distance, but most of them came in right around 99 grains actually. So they were just, even with that little gasket on there, they still came in just shy of 100 grains on the majority of them. So I spread those out, and I designated them to the arrows. I think I'm going to gain a little bit of my tolerance, but I think the good majority of the arrows will be more a little tighter knit, but I might still have a pretty good gap still. I might maybe 1.5, 1.4 grains or whatever might be the distance. We'll see how it works out when I finish these things up. So this is something that I found out a while back, and it works out pretty good too. Just about anything I screw into my bow or my arrows or anything with threads in there, I take a little bit of bow wax, and I'll just put that little bow wax, just a little thin coat right around there on those threads. And what that'll do is it'll help hold it in place also, and it'll prevent it from having any kind of corrosion start up in there and make it difficult for you to pull that thing out. So you do that, you just tighten that bad boy right in there. They go right in there. They look real nice. So we're starting to get a nice little arrow going here. We got our tips on there, we got our inserts, we got our nocks back on there. We've cut them down to size. And the next thing we're going to do is get ready to fletch these things. And I'll just show you the start of the process here. I like to take a little emery board or emery cloth here, whatever, just almost like those little green cloths. I got these brown ones on sale. And I'll just kind of rub it around there a little bit, and it'll help scuff that up just a touch on the end. Just a little bit to help that glue get something to hang on to. Maybe keep that fletching on there just a tad bit longer. You don't have to do much with it. I already ran this over a little bit, but I like to go back and forth this way versus horizontal or vertical, where you want to go with the grain, I guess. Kind of go against the grain on what that's going to fight. And hopefully that stays in there a little bit longer. And then what I'll do, before I even get into the fletching area here, take a little alcohol, and we're going to rub that down with some alcohol. And just be sure that we don't have any oils on there that are going to cause that fletching to come off. Just get everything you do, just a little bit here and a little bit there, and you end up with such a higher quality arrow. Now once you rub that with alcohol, don't touch it. You don't want to touch that anymore. Now I've just got an old standard Bitzenberger single fletch jig here. I've been using it about a year now. Works like a champ for me. Put that guy down in there, just like that. So you can see there, so he just clips right in there. It's got the little knob down there, so you can spin that bad boy around as you go, each fletching. Start right there. Now there's a key with this. I didn't realize it when I first started, but if you start with this little nub right on top, and you start with the same arrow there all the time, your fletching will be right. So I start with my oddball fletching. So you get your jig here. I'm kind of cockeyed here. I keep having to turn the camera sideways because if I turn it the other way, I got the garage door open. And you can't see me because it distorts the light too bad. This is a real simple jig to use. Nothing too special with it. So I line up. Okay, and I'm putting blazer vanes on here. I bought a set of blazer vanes here. I'm gonna put some little fancy tiger stripe ones on there. So I'm gonna use tiger stripe, and I got a black one in here for my offset one. And you can see on this thing, it's on the jig itself. It's got the little marks down the side there, so you can measure that thing out there. I like to come in right about on that second mark. That's where I like to shoot it from. And I just line that bad boy up. And I normally will have a Q-tip down here, but I got some alcohol still on this. So I'll usually wipe this down just a little bit with some alcohol, because that doesn't hurt either. And let that sit for a second. Everything clean, everything good, everything solid, everything consistent all the way through. That's what you want to see. And the more consistency we can get, the better we are. Like I said, we're going for a little bit of pretty, but a lot of performance is what we're going to get. And these bloodline arrows are not top of the line arrows. And, I mean, you can buy them pre-fletched, and all you got to do is cut the ends off and throw the inserts in there. They come in there. I don't know. They come about what, $59 for a half a dozen or something like that. But I prefer to build my arrows myself. And I'm not getting any break right now. I'm not in business yet. I hope to be someday, but right now I'm buying them retail just like everybody else. And I think I got these for about $78, $79, something like that. I think is what I paid for a dozen shafts, and they come with the inserts in there. So I take it from there, and I go down, get my tips, and buy my own fletching. And you can see the work that I'm doing with this, but man, I love it when I shoot these things. And then if I lose a fletching, I know how to fix it myself. I can do it right on the spot. If an insert screws up, hopefully I can get that out of there. I haven't had any problem with an insert, but if they do, I could possibly get that out of there and salvage the arrow. If I lose a knock, I've got some spare knocks up there, so I can pretty much fix an arrow within a day or so. I don't have to take it back to the pro shop, because I've got part of a pro shop right here in my garage, partly. So I let that dry. I can get to a faster point later. I'll clean these all up with alcohol and let them dry a little bit. I gotta take my glasses off of this so I can see. So what we want to do is get a fine glue line down here. If this glue is going to come out of here. There we go. Just a nice little thin glue line on there. This thing works off a magnet. Put it in there. Let it sit for a second. We'll take a look at this in a second. Stuff dries pretty quick. I don't remember how long it takes. I bought it last year. I don't see a date on here. But it's a fairly quick set. And lift it off. And there it is. No, it's not. It's not a quick set. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to get that off of there. We're going to start over. I'm going to use a different glue. I thought this was quick set. This isn't any good for this stuff. So even I can mess up. Shouldn't have been running the video till I tried this once. We'll just clean that off. Go back and do it again. And let me get my other glue and we'll come back and do